All right, aloha Tulsi-crats and Indie-crats and all of you who are here because you're fed up with the two-party system. I'm Dave, and this is the Radical Independent, where, we are an equal opportunity offender and defender, depending on what it is. Tulsi Gabbard just went over the $130,000 mark for donations. In fact, she eviscerated that number. Let's hear from Tulsi. This was just a few hours prior to her absolutely demolishing that number.
Aloha, everybody. I just wanted to send a quick message to say thank you to all of you who contributed to our campaign, making it possible for me to be on that debate stage last night. I think if you watched, you understand what a great opportunity it is to get in front of millions of people across the country and to make sure that our voices are heard. So this is where I need your help, because we've got to make sure that we qualify for those next debates in September and October. We're getting close, but I need your help to get us across that finish line. So our goal is to hit at least 130,000 individual contributors by Sunday. Let's do this together and make sure that our message continues to every single corner of the country. Click on the link, donate now.
And by the way, don't stop donating just because I'm doing this video. Keep giving to her campaign. If you're not a new individual donor and you want to give to something that's a worthy cause, this is a worthy cause. This is the candidate, by the way, who truly represents working people in this country, people who are marginalized, people who feel left out of the political process. I can go on and on about how many different groups of people she represents, but what her core constituency really is are American citizens who love this country, who are tired of being sold out to corporate interests, the military-industrial complex. Tulsi Gabbard has our back. Now, just a brief side note here. We really have to worry about the polling numbers, and I hate to be throwing cold water on this great moment where Tulsi hits a goal that many of us thought was going to be really difficult. But I do see a path, like I've said in other videos. I see a path for her to get to this nomination. It's a path where, you have to step on a stone, then you have to leap to another one, then you leap to another one, and then all of a sudden you're next to Joe Biden and you're the progressive standard bearer. You're carrying the flag for the progressive side, or at least the populist side. I don't know even what terms mean anymore. This is, by the way, the first video where I'm going to say this. Bernie supporters, think about switching your alliance to Tulsi Gabbard. I know that sounds crazy. I know you think Bernie is polling closer to Biden and so forth, and he is technically. And he's got this huge ground game and this big organization. Bernie Sanders is not going to get the nomination. He's not. He's the wrong messenger. He's got the right message, but he's the wrong messenger. The more I watch him interact and communicate, throwing the hands up at the debate there when Hickenlooper is doing something and he's trying to be funny or something, it doesn't, I don't know. I know that's a minor point. All of these things are minor points, but the more I watch him communicate and interact, and the angry guy and the get off my lawn, and being PO'd is what Trump has been for many years now. At least Trump at times has fun with his crowds and so forth, and I know the jokes don't go over well with progressives, but half the time I think Trump is pretty funny. I don't see that with Bernie Sanders. And what's better about Tulsi Gabbard is she's none of that stuff. She's just measured, calm. Look at her. Look at this, where we freeze this. This is a beautiful woman. And again, I'm not saying that to say, well, you should vote for her because she's hot, No, you should vote for Tulsi Gabbard because she has the right mix of policies. And she has the right experience for this job. And she does happen to be very telegenic, as a smart commentator put it. And she doesn't come across as the angry woman. And a lot of the other female candidates, sorry, Again, I'm not trying to play identity politics here. I'm not trying to be mean to one gender over another. I can bash Bernie apparently because he's an old white guy. I don't know. I'm not really even trying to bash Bernie. If Bernie became the nominee, I would seriously consider supporting him for president. I think Tulsi Gabbard is a much better choice. I think she could take on Donald Trump in a way that would diffuse Trump and all of his name-calling and nicknames and pet names, the Pocahontas stuff and all of that. Elizabeth Warren, if she gets the nomination, it's going to be a nightmare for her because she doesn't know how to deal with it. We saw how Kamala Harris melted down over some truthful questions and then had to go running to CNN. Oh, well, she's mean to me and she likes Assad and she likes Assad and okay, let's hypothetically say that Tulsi Gabbard was a real, true Assad apologist or something to that effect. Most Americans don't give a crap, okay? Most Americans would say, okay, well, maybe she thinks this dictator isn't as bad as, we think he is. Okay, but she's for Medicare for all. She's for a living wage. She believes in a whole bunch of concepts that I believe in, like free speech and the Second Amendment and so forth. So why wouldn't I support her anyway? I mean, it's not as if she's going to ask Assad to attack America. Hey, I've aligned with Assad. I mean, think of how ludicrous the logic is. She won't condemn him, so she's just not fit for office. Really? Because she wants to negotiate with bad people? And she wants to diffuse war. How much money did we spend on the Tomahawk missiles we sent over there? I bet you we could have fed some people with that money. I bet you we could have fixed up at least a couple of inner city neighborhoods with that money. Think I'm wrong? I don't really care if you think I'm wrong. The point is, Tulsi Gabbard is the only one out there who champions a foreign policy which most Americans, including most returning military veterans, agree on. We all agree that we're in too many places and we're doing too much stuff. And by the way, it's not keeping us safe. All right, this is the big myth. Oh, it's going to make us safer. No, it's not. It's going to make military contractors more wealthy. So Tulsi Gabbard, she's got a lot going on right now that's good. But you wait. You've never seen this disinformation campaign. And the funny thing is, though, her whole demeanor diffuses the crap that comes her way. And people still have hate in their hearts. They don't even know who she is. And they're making all these crazy statements. Yesterday on Twitter, I was called a bot. I was told that bots can't vote. Well, I'd like to show you I don't have my voter registration card here, but I do have one. It's in my wallet. And it actually has me as a Democrat right now, which is really scary because I've never been registered as a Democrat in my life. The only reason I did it was so I could vote for Tulsi Gabbard in the Florida primaries. Okay? You can call me all the names you want. You can call her all the names that you want. But it's not going to affect the truth. The truth is going to remain. And the truth is, she is the best candidate in my lifetime. So I'm asking Bernie supporters, think about this. I know you like Bernie. I know you've been with Bernie forever, and I know a lot of the Bernie supporters have that tribalism and that anger that it really is distasteful to me. Maybe you don't want the Aloha candidate, that you just want to be mad and you want to take your pitchfork and your torch. And you're sympathetic to things like Antifa, which I saw on Twitter by this guy who's running for Congress. He compared Antifa to one Trump supporter who threw a couple of punches at a guy. See, once you get down to that place, I'm not going there with you. And if you want to argue about Antifa, please don't. Please don't. I do think they're a danger to society, and I don't know if they should be a terrorist group or not, but I don't think they have the best interests of U.S. citizens at heart. These are angry people that need to get help. Martin Luther King wouldn't agree with it, would he? No. See, Tulsi Gabbard isn't that candidate, and that's what ticks a lot of progressives off. She's not angry. She doesn't look like Elizabeth Warren with her head shaking around, trying to get so many words in. You know, like doing the Ben Shapiro thing. Gotta talk really fast so I can sound intelligent. Tired of that. You got the Zen candidate here who could bring two sides together. That's why you have people on the right who look at her and say, look, finally, the Democrats aren't running a lunatic. Finally, the first non-lunatic candidate. And that's why I'm asking Bernie supporters, come on down. Come on over. I mean, the water is fine. The surfing is great. Tulsi Gabbard is your candidate. And she now needs some polling numbers. Why don't you answer that phone and say, hey, Tulsi Gabbard, we need Tulsi Gabbard to take that next step. Those stones are arranged in a certain way, and it's like a puzzle. And she could actually thread this needle, and she could be standing next to Joe Biden at the end of all this. And I think if enough American citizens see Tulsi Gabbard, and by the way, a lot of Trump supporters would jump off the train to support Tulsi Gabbard as a Democrat against Joe Biden or whoever, Elizabeth Warren. Kamala Harris, I think, is toast, by the way, which is good news. But anyway, think about supporting Tulsi financially. Most important, if that phone rings, you got to, and this goes to Bernie supporters, you got to tell them you're for Tulsi Gabbard. And I am pleading and asking Bernie people to switch. She's a better candidate than Bernie Sanders. She's better on foreign policy. She's going to do more for this country as far as calming the tensions and nerves. I think Bernie Sanders will be the left-wing version of Trump, ratcheting up all the hatred that's on the right, whereas Tulsi Gabbard wants nothing to do with that. And that's why I support her, and that's why you should support her for president. All right, I am done with this video. Aloha. Talk to you soon.